scratch. I've adapted this recipe from other food blogs, and I've just added some new things to make it my own. So, the first thing you're going to need is some all-purpose flour, baking soda and baking powder, melted butter, sugar, and an egg. So, let's get started. Also, this pancake recipe is going to come with a twist at the end, and if you guys want to know the recipe, wait a minute, we forgot one thing. And you're also going to need some buttermilk. Alright, now let's get started. To this mixing bowl, I have 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour and 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Here I have 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and then I also like to add a couple dashes of cinnamon for flavor. Just eyeballing it here. And I'm just going to mix these ingredients together. You're going to notice the flour is kind of brown, and that's because I ran out of all-purpose flour at the 1 cup measure, so I substituted the rest of the 1.5 cup with white whole wheat flour. Now moving on to the wet ingredients, you're going to be needing 2 cups of milk. Now for this recipe, I'm going to use 1 cup buttermilk, and I'm going to be adding 1 cup of regular milk. Now, if you don't have regular milk, you can of course use 2 cups buttermilk, or if you don't have buttermilk, you can make a buttermilk substitute, and I'll leave that recipe linked down below. To this mix, you're going to be adding your 4 tablespoons of melted butter, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and you're going to be adding in 1 egg. I like to whisk it beforehand because it cuts down my mixing process. This all goes into the bowl, and I'm just going to slowly whisk it together so it's combined. Now you're going to pour the wet ingredients into your dry ingredients, and you're going to fold everything together. So I'm going to just make a little hole right here, pour in the wet ingredients, and I'm basically going to just fold it together. And you want to just do this till everything is just incorporated. Now, I can just kind of eyeball when I know the mixture is ready, and for me, this needs a little more liquid. So what I'm going to do is add a little more of that buttermilk. And like I said, I'm just eyeballing it. So as you guys saw in the clip, I added some liquid to the batter, and for me, I did that because it seemed like it needed more liquid. So one way you can tell is when you're mixing, if the batter seems like kind of tough and not really coming together like it is now, then you could add some liquid. And I would just suggest adding about a teaspoon at a time, just so it sees it's going to come together. And right now, this batter is perfect. And there's still a little bit of lumps in it, which is what you want. You don't want it to be, all the lumps to be completely dissolved, because that's what gives your pancakes that airy texture. And I'm going to be letting this sit in this mixing bowl for about 10 minutes. Now I have a pan heating up to medium heat, and I'm going to add some butter. And butter is what makes your pancakes so delicious, so don't skip on this part. Adding enough butter to coat this pan and hopefully not scratch the crap out of this pan. I have a 1 cup measure, and I'm just going to scoop the batter in the pan. And I like to just spread it out with the measuring cup. And you see how thick the pancake batter is? This is the kind of texture that you want, and it's not too thick that you can't spread it out, and it's not too runny where the pancake doesn't hold its shape. So it's a good in-between consistency. And let me show you the batter. You can see the texture, you can see the thickness of the batter, but like I mentioned, it's not too thick where it's not pliable and you can't work with it. So I'm just going to spread the batter all on the pan. And earlier I mentioned to you guys how these pancakes are going to be with a little twist, And I have cinnamon butter right here. If you don't like cinnamon, anything that has cinnamon in it, or cinnamon butter in general, then you could skip this step. But this gives my pancake just an extra amazing flavor. So in this plastic bag, I have 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter. I have 3 tablespoons of sugar and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And you pretty much just mix it all up in the bag, and once you're done mixing it, it will come to this like kind of brown sugar like color consistency. It's a nice rich brown. And then I just cut the tips of it, of the end of the bag right here. And then I'm just gonna pipe it onto the pancakes. Alright guys, so I'm gonna show you how I make the swirl. You're gonna get your bag and slowly move the butter mixture in a circle. And this is what is going to give your pancakes that quintessential cinnamon roll texture. And I would advise when you do this, make sure you work with butter that is room temperature. It makes it a lot easier to glide the butter around your pancake. And as you guys saw in my last attempt, it didn't work out so well since the butter was still cold, but it was able to get to room temperature, and this is what it looks like. So I'm going to let this cook a little more, and as you guys can see, bubbles are starting to form. You just saw that one right there. And when you see the bubbles start to form on your pancakes, that's when you know it is almost ready to be cooked. I want to show you guys a close-up of the pancakes. You can see there is a lot of lift and fluffiness to the pancakes, and that's because we didn't over mix the batter. So there is a natural height with the baking powder and the baking soda, but when you don't over mix, it gives your pancakes just a nice little lift, and your pancakes come out nice and airy. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. These pancakes are done, guys. Look at how amazing they look. They're fluffy, they're buttery, they're moist. Buttermilk pancakes. And we've adapted this recipe, and it looks so good. Oh, I'm so excited to take it. Oh! Guys, these pancakes are really good. Show you guys how fluffy they are on the inside. Look at that fluff. How does it taste?
Finger looking good.
Finger looking good. Dad approved. What do you like about it?
I like everything.
Hey guys, well we hope you liked this video of me showing how to make these fluffy buttermilk pancakes that are not a dupe from Tasty's recipes. Yes. Whoa. Definitely give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you're here for more cooking videos, leave a comment down below. Another video you want me to adapt and change to make it easy and less complicated for everybody who wants to cook simple recipes. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!